What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, we got some news about some breaking news broke last night, as a matter of fact, in regards to that North Carolina mass shooting at a pool party, in which it was over 100 people there. 12 people got injured. One person died in the shooting, which was a 58-year-old man whose name they'll tell you in this series of videos I'll show you. And they got a suspect in custody. This guy right here, which was shocking, because I'm going to be honest with you, when this news came out and I didn't specify who did what, you know, what color the person was, in my head, knowing that area from being out there before, I didn't think it was a black dude. Look what it was. White dude. Now, this dude right here is a menace. This dude right here, his name is Jared Killian. 20 years old. Menace to society. In a nice-ass neighborhood, he chose to act a fool. More details have come out. This guy made his first court appearance, which I will show you today. And it shows again that the justice system, in my opinion, in some way, form, or fashion, like terroristic people like this out in society for some type of monetary gain. Take a look at what they got, and we'll come back with commentary as always. Damn shameful.
We start this morning with updates out of Catawba County. The sheriff's office confirming an arrest has been made in that mass shooting over the weekend that left one person dead. This morning, that suspect is set to face a judge. WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane is live with the latest developments. And Richard, we've learned this isn't the suspect's first time facing charges.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Good morning to you, Lisa. Good Wednesday morning all. Basically, this suspect was in this courthouse just a couple of months ago for pretty much the same thing he's accused of now, shooting into a crowd of people. There are questions, why was he out? He bonded out on a $100,000 bond. Today, he faces a similar charge. Now, let's take a look at the person that we're talking about this morning. This is the person, this man, 20-year-old Garen Nathaniel Killian of Lenore, is behind bars facing one charge of attempted murder. Authorities arrested him in connection with that mass shooting that occurred early Sunday morning at that house party on Walnut Acres Drive, where approximately 100 people had gathered. The shooting happened around 12:45. The sheriff's office says Killian shot into a crowd of people from outside of the party, starting a barrage of gunfire when some of those at the pool party, police say, also fired back, resulting in the death of 58-year-old Sean Patrick Hood and injuries to 11 others. Victims ranged in age from 16 to 58, with some getting gunshot wounds and others injured while fleeing the scene. Authorities reported that over 80 shots were fired during the incident. Now Killian is behind bars as this investigation continues.
It appears to us that the shooting initiated from that elevated position in the neighbor's yard, and that persons that were attending the pool party were also armed, and there were shots fired by those people as well.
And it's important to note that at this time, Killian is charged with attempted murder, one count of attempted murder. He was in court in April for shooting into a crowd at a Chuck E. Cheese. He was given a $100,000 bond. Of course, he was able to bond out. We'll have more on that throughout the morning and when he appears in court for his first appearance. But for now, we're right here in Catawba County. Richard Devane, we'll send it back to you.
Breaking news. Good evening. We are staying on top of the breaking news from Catawba County tonight. Law enforcement tells us a person is in custody connected to that mass shooting early Sunday morning where one person was killed and 11 others were hurt. We're told 20-year-old Garen Killian is charged with one count of attempted first-degree murder, is being held under no bond tonight. What you're seeing here is actually an old mugshot of his back when he was arrested in Hickory on April 6th, when officers say shots were fired into a crowd that had gathered in a parking lot near the Target off Catawba Valley Boulevard. As for the mass shooting, officers have told us they are looking for multiple shooters. We're told people attending the party were also armed and they fired shots as well. We know, again, 12 people were hurt in all of this, including 58-year-old Sean Hood, who was killed. 11 others hospitalized, one of those victims critically injured. Officers expect more arrests to come.
What I can tell you is that it appears to us that the shooting initiated from that elevated position in the neighbor's yard, and that persons that were attending the pool party were also armed, and there were shots fired by those people as well. Whether it was a direct return of fire, I can't confirm as I stand here, but both sides of that situation were shooting.
So why the shooting started, that is still a question unanswered tonight. Now, we did learn a little more about the party itself and what happened when deputies were called out to it earlier in the evening.
Best information we have now is that it was an advertised party on social media. We do understand that money was being charged for admission, and the theme seemed to be centered around the pool that's on that property.
You go back to the conference on Sunday, you were talking about deputies responding to a previous noise violation. When they responded to that, was there consideration of shutting down the party at that point, or what was that? How did that interaction end?
It was a noise complaint that we responded to. We interacted with the controlling parties at the residence at that time. They did turn the noise down. Our deputies did warn them about the size of the party and our perceptions that it was unsafe. That party, though, was on private property, and legally we did not have the authority at that time to shut it down, as you would use those words.
Now, you may be thinking, with so many people, so many witnesses, why has information been slow in coming out? Why did it take about 72 hours to announce any arrests? We reached out to retired CMPD Deputy Chief Stephen Brochu for some insight into this. Here's some of what he told our Jason Puckett earlier today.
This is a little bit more remote area, which creates some challenges. When you have urban environments, you have things like license plate readers and more cameras and access to infrastructure cameras and things that would drive some at least video evidence. When you're out in more remote locations, sometimes that's not as readily available. So this methodical approach is typical. It's very good. And again, you have extremely competent agencies that are investigating this. I have no doubt they'll soon identify the suspects who did this. Apprehension is the second piece. And there's some methods and means that go behind the apprehension. So sometimes it's strategic and not announcing what's all known by law enforcement yet, up and until they have some reason to announce that. But I feel confident that they've got a process in place. They do fugitive apprehensions quite often. Those agencies work across state lines if necessary. But I don't think there's any place that the suspect will be able to hide without being apprehended.
Meantime, investigators are asking people who live in the area or have businesses in that area to check any security or doorbell video they may have. They can upload those to the FBI's website. But
again, with that breaking news at noon, a suspect in the deadly mass shooting in Hickory appearing in court just moments ago. 20-year-old Garen Killian facing one count of attempted murder.
WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane joins us now live from the courthouse there. Richard, what have you been able to learn in the last hour or so?
For one thing, we learned that Killian seems to have a carefree attitude, not showing much emotion in court today. When asked about a bond, he said, basically, if I get one, I would appreciate it. If not, I understand. This is the person we're talking about. Look at him. Garen Nathaniel Killian showed little concern as he went through his first appearance here on an attempted murder charge in Catawba County. Deputies arrested the 20-year-old yesterday, charging him for shooting into that crowd of partygoers at a house in the Mountain View community. In court, the district attorney brought up the fact that Killian is now charged in an attempted murder while being out on bond for a similar incident in which he's accused of 7 attempted murder charges for also shooting into a crowd of people outside a strip mall, this just in April. His bond at that time was set at $100,000. And I looked in the courtroom documents today and found that he was able to bond out paying just $5,000 on each of those 2 charges, so for a total of $10,000. And after being charged with those and shooting into that crowd of as many as 80 people at that party, his bond today was set at $200,000. The judge did have the right to hold him without bond. That means that Killian could bond out of jail anytime today for around $20,000 as he faces at least 8 counts of attempted murder in 2 separate incidents. Now, as we come back here, we can tell you that there will be another news conference today at 2 o'clock where we'll get more details. But the latest is that this person, Jared Killian, the first person arrested in connection with that shooting, now has a bond set at $200,000. There are some speculations or stipulations, I should say, on him this time. Last time he did not have to be under electronic monitoring. He has to do that. He also had to surrender a passport, which he said he does not have. And finally, he is not allowed to be in contact with any of the folks that were involved at that party. We'll have much more. Our Jesse Pierre is on it. We'll have much more, including some information into those arrest warrants and what we found out coming up throughout the day, and also on WCNC Plus. We're right here at the Catawba County. This is Richard Devane. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
Ain't that something? This guy said he has 7 attempted murder charges from a crime in which he shot up the outside of a Chuck E. Cheese, aiming at another crowd of people, letting the gun off in April. That was 2 months ago. They gave him a $10,000 bond. I mean, a $100,000 bond. He paid $10,000 cash, which his parents did, and he back out on the street doing hoodlum shit like hoodlums do. Think about that shit. 7 attempted murders. And they gave him a $10,000 bond to get out, and his parents paid for it. I want you to let that sink in for a second. The justice system needs to be tweaked. They don't give a damn. It's all about money. It's not about morals. It's not. It's not about common sense. Now, it brings us to this. Said he got mad because it was a discrepancy of having to pay at the party. He just wanted to come in there. So what did he do? If you look at the picture at the bottom over here, where you see the yellow crime scene tape, that's a hill. He went around the side of the hill and where he could look down in the party and let off shots. People at the party was armed too. They returned fire. So they saying you could expect more arrests. The only person out of these young people acting a fool that died is a 58-year-old man that was there. I guess he was family or he was helping with the party. Always the ones that's not in the bullshit, the ones that pay the ultimate price out here when it comes to shenanigans. Trifling. This dude right here, I'd show him the flowers. Him and whoever else was involved. How are you giving violent offenders bail? They keep doing that shit. They keep giving them bonds. The first thing would be to give them no bonds. Any type of violent offender, anybody accused of a violent act and a crime, they get no bond. You wait it out until it's time to go to court.